What's good, pod people? Welcome to Movies Are Real, a movies podcast. Bam, 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 bam. Fine, just leave me hanging. We're a fucking movies podcast here. I'm the host, George. I have two worthless co-hosts.
And one of them's named Ryan.
One of them is Carrie.
For real though, sorry folks. You know, these podcast intros are supposed to be like, they're supposed to warm you up. Like, it's a safe space here.
Not with us.
That was really no, yeah.
Go right in.
We're a fucking raw, rude podcast. No, for real though. This is a monthly movies podcast called Movies Are Real. I'm George. I'm here with Ryan and Carrie. Once a month, we gather to talk about the movies of the month prior and what we're looking forward to next month. This is the episode for
May.
Every time.
There's only 12 months a year.
I'm sorry. Mayberry. We're talking about May. It seems like a pretty slow month as opposed to what the fuck June's coming up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was making the show notes and I was like, oh, another one, and another one, and
Another one.
Too late, Ryan.
Another one.
Ryan, where's that meme from? Who says that?
Yeah, let us know.
That
Chance that rapper?
He wins a lot, Ryan.
Chance
He wins.
my rapper.
Anyways, May was a month.
Several shades. There's more than one shade, right?
May was a month with movies in it. That was a month you could watch movies in. One of them we saw last podcast, but we decided not to talk about it. And that is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Volume 2.
Which, a movie that around 2 years ago I would have been fucking over the moon to watch, and we've seen it. And I have thoughts on it. I think I know how Ryan feels. I don't know how you feel about it, Carrie. But anyways, this is the sequel to 2014's surprise hit Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt. You got Batista from the WWE. You got the Raccoon Man, played by Bradley Cooper. You got Gamora, played by Avatar lady, Zoe Saldana, everyone's favorite. Michael Rooker is in it, apparently as a starring fucking role, because James Gunn. Are they like married? Is this like some sort of like
behind the scenes, like Michael Rooker like annoyed James Gunn like when he was writing like, you need to have more Yondu in this movie. Like I heard one story where like he was having a house party and Michael Rooker came there with Yondu
That
cookies.
sounds like a conversation Michael Rooker would start at a house party. Hey man, I love you. You know about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
We need more Yondu.
The people are clamoring.
Yeah. Anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy. Its narrative took a focus that I was not expecting whatsoever, especially if you told me what I would have wanted out of a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This is a very sort of familial movie about fathership.
It's about family.
Nope, no, that's not really.
It's
no,
about family.
Nope. Starman.
Who's your family?
It's a movie about Star-Lord he finds Russell Crowe. Not Russell Crowe.
Nope.
Not Russell Crowe.
Kurt
Russell, thank you.
They're
all old and got like... Well, actually, Russell Crowe looks all wise and... Yeah, anyways.
He's Superman's dad.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right. But yes, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, movie about families and daddies. It's fun time. What did we think of it? Ryan, what did you think of it?
You see, you guys, I feel like...
are cynical people without hearts.
I hate fun and happiness.
No, like, I genuinely really liked this movie. It was more of, like, what I wanted out of it. I felt like the villains and, like, the characterization of everyone was a lot better than, like, most Marvel movies, which is, like, how I see... Because, like, Marvel movies and, like, superhero movies, they're kind of, like, in their own spectrum, I feel. Especially Marvel, because they make too many fucking movies.
Sure, like, I guess so. Like,
they make too many movies, and they're all, like, the same.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I went into Doctor Strange feeling very excited, because the comics are so weird and crazy, and, like, I left being like, that's Iron Man, the movie, because it was, like...
That was Iron Man, the movie.
And, like, Iron Man's fine. Whatever.
That is not what you told me a few days ago.
Off mic, Ryan hates Iron Man.
Like, the character of Iron Man. The first movie itself is fine, overall.
Yeah, it is a fine movie.
But yeah, this was just, it was like more like fun. Everyone like had like a small arc.
Except, I guess Gamora also had yeah, she did.
Yeah, her whole thing was like her getting back in touch with Nebula.
Played by what?
Karen
Gillan.
I love Nebula as a character.
I like Nebula too. I also like Karen Gillan.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Star-Lord getting in touch with his daddy, playing all that music with his dad. Mm-hmm. His dad's
playing
a planet.
Catch.
Playing catch with the
Dairy Queen.
orbs.
Everybody loves Dairy Queen.
I forgot about that.
Carrie, what are your thoughts on this one?
I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, but I don't think I dislike it. I just found myself bored and tired of it while I was watching it. I didn't like the beginning, but near the end it starts to pick up and get more fun. But that CGI Kurt Russell skeleton though, that was immaculate.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one. Like I don't know, like the jokes didn't land. I mean, they felt very forced. It all felt very, very forced. Maybe the original is like that now going back to it, but this just didn't. I don't know. It also made me feel like Star-Lord is a character. I feel like after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I think at the moment a lot of people liked Star-Lord, but then people thought about it, and then they started putting out takes and putting think pieces and stuff. Like, he's actually kind of a shitty dude guy, and that kind of came across to me in this one a lot more. It was hard. I had a hard time like feeling empathy towards him or relating to him.
Yeah, the first one in retrospect, the first one feels more underdog-ish, and this one feels more full of itself.
Yeah, definitely. And as we mentioned, Michael Rooker, very fucking important. So as this movie's about family and fathership, they play the role of like they really focus on like what how Michael Rooker, his character Yondu, was a father to him when Star-Lord was taken from Earth. And how he never met his real dad, and he kind of hates Yondu because like, oh, I was a mercenary, and you taught me all this fucking shit. But then when it turns out that his real dad's a bigger piece of shit, it all kind of works out in the way, and like, oh, he's actually a fucking lovable character who was misunderstood and was only doing what needed to get done. And that stuff, I don't know. I think it's fine. I like Michael Rooker fine, so I think I was okay with it, but again, it was totally not what I was going in, and also like, I feel like the trailers only kind of sort of hinted at it after like for a second that this movie's about family. At least, am I wrong? Was there trailers of this movie like, oh, it's about the family thing?
I mean, going into it, I felt like it's obvious, like, oh, I'm your dad, Peter.
Yeah.
So like that whole thing, and then like you also know like, oh, Gamora and Nebula come back together. So I felt like that theme of family, like at least I knew going into this, like that's gonna be like a recurring theme for like everyone. Even like Drax, like his role was smaller, which like that's kind of.
I think he was the funniest one actually out of all of them personally. I just like Bautista.
He's awesome, yeah. I mean, he talked more about his like past, which was fun to get into. I hope like because they are announced there's gonna be another one. I hope he's in it more. And his relationship with Mantis, I really liked that.
I thought it was tired. He just kept being like, "You're so ugly," and is it because I'm ugly? Yeah, you're really ugly.
Yeah,
I found it funny the first few times. Again. The first few times I thought it was pretty funny.
And then at the end of the movie, when they're friends again, she gets hit with a fucking shield across the face. It's like, ha ha ha! The entire theater erupted in laughter, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And there's Rocket. I feel like the Rocket stuff, very, very ham-fisted, it felt to me. I don't know, man. There's this sort of arc that, like, Yondu and Rocket spend a lot of the movie together because Rocket gets, like, sort of separated from the rest of the group as they go with Star-Lord's dad. And then he meets up with Yondu, and they have to, like, rescue the gang and all this. And they have sort of, like, a heart-to-heart, and they're like, oh, we're more similar than you think. Raccoon, I'm Michael Rooker, and he's like, you're right. And then he's all sad, and when Yondu maybe not dies. And all that stuff I didn't really buy into that at all. I didn't like it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I personally wasn't crazy about it, but I thought it was fine. It was a fine movie.
Yeah, it was okay. This movie made me tired of Groot, which is something I did not think was possible.
Man.
You see, I never felt a problem with that. Like,
really?
I know you guys like didn't like the one scene because that did go on for a bit long.
What one scene?
The one where they're trying to get Groot. You gotta get the thing.
Oh,
and he like
get
keeps
the key. That's my underwear.
Yeah, that did take. That was.
That went on for a bit, and like I get that, but I wasn't tired of him. I mean, you're never gonna see Baby Groot again.
Yeah, so thankfully, yeah.
But yeah, I still really liked it in terms of the superhero stuff because it felt like it did enough with like the characters all like developed somewhat at the end of it. When like if you watch any other Marvel movie, they're pretty much the same person, but like a little less of a dick.
Yeah.
And that's like not good. And also, the villain was a planet.
That's pretty good.
And like I never thought as a kid I would ever see Ego the Living Planet in a movie because that's so stupid. And like I felt like with everyone watching this, they all like just accepted that. And like I find that cool that people were just like, oh, his dad's a talking planet. That's fine.
Of course.
Of course. Like
Yeah. I have not. So Ego is a character?
Yeah.
I
in the
had
comics.
no idea.
He's a planet with a face.
Oh.
And he talks because he's a planet with a face. It's hilarious and stupid.
I
love
think
it.
the thing I wanted more out of this movie for sure is more Gamora and more Nebula. I
Yeah.
was hoping for more of that. I wish they took like at least half the time they spent with Rocket and Yondu and added it more to Gamora and Nebula, because I feel like they did the bare minimum for that to work, but it didn't do a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is there anything else to say about this movie? Again, I already said Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen was in the movie.
That's pretty good. I want to say real quick, I was talking to my sister about this movie because she was like, yeah, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time the other night. I just actually never watched it. And I was like, oh, so you seeing all this Baby Groot stuff must be confusing to you. She's like, yeah, I started watching Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, why is he big?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It was really funny.
That's a good point.
And then she's like, oh no.
Oh yeah,
Spoilers.
before we move on, soundtrack better, worse, or all right? Again, how we feel?
I feel like the ooga chaka ooga was really strong for the first one, and this one didn't have like.
I like the
song.
Electric Light Orchestra at the beginning. That was
That's
really good.
I love that song by Fleetwood Mac. It's very good.
Was there a Fleetwood Mac song in there?
Yeah. It was The Chain.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
The Chain.
Yep.
That played twice
Yes,
during the movie.
you're
And
right.
also Surrender by Cheap Trick.
Yeah, that
very
was
good
good.
song.
But that was at the end of the movie.
It's still a very good
It's
song.
a very good song. I thought the soundtrack wasn't as good as the other one. Also, Sylvester Stallone is in this movie, just kind
For
of
a
in.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was a well-known
That-
quantity.
Yeah, he played a character in the comics who's like lesser known because he's from like the 60s or 70s, and I feel like that's definitely like building to something in like a future film, because like that ending thing is like all like, oh, it's the original Guardians from 1969, but like I feel like, I mean, I know no one got that because that's so weird and obscure.
Well, I mean, when I saw it, like cut to that crew all together, and I was like, am I supposed to know who these people
Am
are?
I supposed to know
It's
who
like,
Diamond Man, voiced by Miley Cyrus, is supposed to be?
oh my god, Miley Cyrus was in the movie?
She was. She voiced the Diamond Man. I'm pretty sure it was the Diamond Man.
I like Miley Cyrus.
I know, we had this conversation in the car.
Right.
I wasn't sure how much you were goofing there. Anyway,
Hot take, I genuinely like Miley Cyrus, okay?
All right, write that down.
anyways, that's not Guardians. I'm shocked that we like. I feel like we're all pretty. I feel like you liked it, Ryan, but I still feel like we would have had a lot more energy for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't know.
I still really like it. I definitely want to see it
We've
again.
grown tired.
I would still
It
want
was
to see
just
New
so
Guardians of the
long
Galaxy.
ago.
It wasn't
was a
long.
month ago. How can I remember a film from a month ago? That's madness.
I know. Who cares? Like new movie, fuck old movie. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's just I definitely like the Guardians universe right now more.
Sure,
than,
no,
like,
totally. Out of
the
everything,
Earth-based
I am
stuff.
way more down for another Guardians movie than I am another even Avengers movie. I'm tired.
I do not want to know. I mean, the Guardians are going to be in the new Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I'm just
right.
tired of superhero movies in general.
Moving on. Speaking
Here,
of
let's talk about a real
speaking
superhero.
of obnoxious soundtracks,
What are you talking about?
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, Guy
The
Ritchie.
movie nobody wanted, but we got.
The movie that Ryan was thrilled to be watching while he was watching it.
Yes. What?
Brought to you by Weed Road.
Weed Road Productions made a movie called King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, and guess what? The first scene of the movie is this giant tower. It's all quiet, and a flame on the top of the tower lights up, and then it cuts to the movie. They lit the blood of the movie, and it went right to it. Weed Road Productions.
All right.
all you need
I'm
to
gonna look
know.
up. I'm gonna look up Weed Road Productions and see what else they.
Would you
You know
find
that-
out? Would you find out what else they're making this year? You're
They're
gonna have a
making
good
another
laugh.
movie this year.
You're gonna love it.
Okay, well, tell me about King Arthur, Legend.
So
you
you
guys
know-
have made a lot of goofs. You guys haven't been telling.
You know the story of King Arthur, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's how everyone wants. That's how Guy Ritchie wants you to go into this movie thinking, I kind of get it. So that's enough.
And then he bros it up and makes it.
Yeah. What if King Arthur was like a lovable douchebag?
That's what the world wants.
That's what the world wanted.
Played by the Pacific Rim guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Charlie
forgettable
Hunnam.
guy.
And the guy who was supposed to be in the 50 Shades of Grey movie. So, I feel like Guy Ritchie's name on something used to mean a thing.
Really?
I think so. I feel like people like, oh, it's a Guy Ritchie. There is like a certain subset of people who wouldn't get over the moon excited about a Guy Ritchie movie, but enough they'd be like, I would keep my eye on that. And I feel like there's a Sherlock Holmes movies, right?
Yeah.
Is there something else? Because I'm not a Guy Ritchie fan, but I know for a fact people like Guy Ritchie. Is there anything else?
All I know him for is Sherlock Holmes, and
Okay.
I like those. I mean, I haven't seen the second one, but I like the first one just fine. But the guy from just that limited experience and from what I've heard people talking about this movie, that the Guy Ritchie essence comes out in the dialogue of this movie, and I could kind of see that, but it also feels out of place because they'll be having these really like quick and charged conversations, and it's all these weird battle things happening, and there's some weird time things where they're like talking about him going through these trials in this place to get to the
Sword?
no,
No,
not the
just to,
sword,
like,
some
prove
other
himself
thing.
on something
yeah,
stupid.
and they're like talking about he's going to have to do this, and then it cuts to him doing it, like it's in the future, and they're like, oh, but he's not going to be able to get past this giant spider.
And then it cuts to
thing.
him
And then it
fight the
cuts
spider. He's like, oh god, the spider! And then it cuts back like, you're gonna have a real hard time with that spider. He's like, I think I'll manage. And then it cuts back to be like, oh god, please, no!
So it sounds like it has a quick pace. And,
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
like, I compared to like Hector Wright film, but like done wrong.
Yeah, like
Okay.
there's a scene where he's telling a story and he's like, wait, back up, and then in the replay of the story, the characters like actually back up and they like.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So it's like
All
that.
right.
It's like that whole.
I gotcha. So it's sort of like a, I don't know, more of a fun take on King Arthur. It's not.
Yeah,
so
King Arthur's a
like,
fun guy.
There's some.
He has his best friend Mage. That's her name, Mage.
Mage. Yeah,
The Mage.
She doesn't get named.
wait,
She's a mage.
is there not a Merlin in this?
No, the mage studied under Merlin.
Oh, okay. So that's their whole weird take. It's after.
Yes.
Or something, I don't know. That's a weird decision. Okay, whatever.
But-
Did they not think Merlin could be a woman? Is that I don't understand why else would they like?
Obviously not,
I-
George.
That's the only thing I could think of. Okay, so it has this quick pace. Is it interesting?
No.
Okay. He
So-
fights a
so-
spider. Wait, he fights a spider?
I think it was
Oh,
a.
it's
It
a
was
snake.
some sort of. Well, there's a snake, but there was a creature in that story thing that we were talking
How do you,
about.
don't
I don't
worry. How do you
know.
confuse a spider for an animal that has no legs?
There's a lot of weird stuff in here, George. Okay.
Animal known for legs. Other animal known for no legs.
Anyway,
So like, okay, so the movie begins with like King Arthur's dad. What's his name? I forget.
Eric Bana.
Yeah, Eric Bana.
I was in the Hulk movie.
Yeah, he was fighting Jude Law,
Yeah, who is the uncle.
who's the
Okay.
Evil
uncle.
uncle.
Okay. Yeah, of
He
course.
attacks the castle, and he's like, "Oh, my sword, my son, oh my god!" He fights Jude Law. The sword gets stuck in stone or something.
Well, okay, no, this is one of
Okay,
my
this
favorite
is
scenes of the
this
movie.
is a spoiler, but who cares?
This is the best. Who's gonna fucking watch this? So they're like, Eric Bana is shuffling his wife and child onto this boat, and they're on this dock. And then Jude Law is in his flaming skeleton form, man guy, big suit, and he's gonna kill him. And then Eric Bana throws the sword up in the air, and then kneels on the dock, like thinker pose, like this, and throws the sword, and the sword embeds itself in his back at the base of his neck, and then he turns into stone and falls through the deck and sinks to the bottom
Eric
of the
Bana
lake.
is the Rock. You take the
Yeah!
sword out
Yeah.
of this movie.
So that you don't get the reveal of like that's how the sword got stuck in him until like the end of the movie. But like when it gets to like Charlie Hunnam, King Arthur himself, good old Artie, like he does like what does he do? Like he swindles someone, so he has to like go somewhere to like the knight's area, and he has to pull the sword from the stone. But like they don't establish why people are trying to do this.
Because Jude Law is the ruler now, and
Yeah.
and the lake recedes and the sword reveals itself, and he knows that the only person who can pull the sword is the rightful heir to the throne. So he's like gathering everyone who's like the right age, because he's gonna like try and get rid of the. I think, I don't know. But
Because
then-
the dialogue is so quick that really doesn't like unless you're like eyes on the film, you will like miss it, which is like,
It's like
what
they-
happened to me in
he
Carrie,
sent-
kind of.
Was the mom got fucking piked by Jude Law. The sword went right through her or something. She died. So
He had like a flaming thing.
yeah, and so Arthur got sent on a boat down the river and then grew up in a brothel, and he built this respectable
Good old
life
Artie.
for himself, and everyone's afraid of him. because he's, I don't know, but like he gets to the sword pulling line and he's like, move, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, like even though like he doesn't like know
So
what's
he's
happening,
irreverent?
there's like this huge line, he's like, I'm getting this over with, and he just pulls the sword and he's like, whoa, I got the sword now.
So is he this irreverent like guy who doesn't care kind of
Yeah,
sort of thing?
kinda,
he's the lovable douchebag.
So here's the thing. Eric Bana is the rock in which the sword is in. So what does Eric Bana, other than that scene, have anything to do with the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sucks to be Eric Bana.
Why would you even fucking ask that question, George?
Okay, never mind.
I just love how like he pulled the rock out of his dad, but like
Well, like you don't know it at first, and then later when that scene plays out, you're like, oh, that's fucked up.
so like then like he pulls the sword. Good old Jude Law's like, oh, you got the sword. I'm gonna kill you now. And he's like, oh. That's not okay. He's like, well, I'm gonna kill you.
There's this other thing I want to talk about with this. When we went to see this movie, there was a literal cricket in the theater that was chirping so fucking loud throughout the entire movie. And I first noticed it in this like quiet jail scene, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just some weird sound design choice where they wanted to have this intrusive bug noise. I don't know, but then it kept going throughout the next 3 scenes, and I kept hearing this cricket, and I was like, this is perfect. This movie is literally getting cricket.
All right, so things happened. King Artie, good old Artie, they take him. He's like, we're gonna make you the king. He's like, I don't want to be the king. I just want to be a cool guy. And like every time he touches the sword, so like I don't get the logic with this sword, because like you can grab it, but once you like dual wield it, because it's like a dual wield sword, then like he like has these like hard flashbacks of like what happened in the past, even though he was an infant and wouldn't remember that. It's like,
it's the turmoil trapped within the sword. Right?
Whatever. So that happens.
Maybe since it was embedded in Eric Bana, his essence is in the sword.
All of his sadness went to
Ryan.
the tip of the sword.
Yeah.
So like whenever he touches the sword, he gets all these horror flashes. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to touch
He gets
the sword.
a flashback of Deliver Us from Evil. It's like,
Oh, it's a terrible movie. So then like everyone's like, you gotta be the king. He's like, I don't want to be the king. And it's like, okay, fine, I'll be the king. And like, yeah, Carrie was telling like earlier, like there's this great scene where, like he has to like prove himself for some reason, and like it does all these quick cuts of all this aisle of like monsters, but it takes like it's a 5-minute sequence of him just on this aisle like, oh my god,
I don't remember. I don't remember.
He's like being like pulled and tugged around by all these like mystical animals, like and screaming like it's a cartoon, and then like it just cuts back to them on the boat going to the aisle like, man, this is gonna be a wild ride, am I right?
And me and Ryan's favorite goof from this movie is the soundtrack. So we'll set this up because there's this scene, I don't remember the setup at all, but they're in the middle of this courtyard kind of thing, and
Is
there's all these people.
is that before or after the snake scene?
I think that's before. I think the snake scene's later, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
Anyways, there's this one before you get to the best joke. I want to
Okay.
I want to work our way to this other joke that I really like.
Oh,
There's a
you would-
scene where
oh,
they
the
gotta
snake thing.
they
Okay.
gotta break into this building or something. So they have the mage woman. Her name is just Mage. And then like for some reason like he has to be like unconscious or like venomed to get into the city.
She falls
So
on
the
a
snake, and he's like, I don't really like snake, and she's just, I don't really like snakes,
yeah,
and she's like,
no
okay.
one she says no one likes snakes, and then stabs him in the neck with the snake.
He's like,
stab.
ah!
And then he's riding up to the castle. I think they're gonna attack Jude Law or something, and then he's like tripping balls on snake venom. Then he walks in, and there's a little snake in there, and it tries to kill someone or something, and then they get rid of that snake, and then a fucking giant snake barrels in, and
I just love the line, I don't really like snakes. No one likes snakes. Ah! Anyways, Carrie, tell the best joke from the movie.
But, so, we started noticing this weird element of the soundtrack, and there's this scene where these guys are converging on our heroes in this courtyard, and then, Arthur had been resisting the sword for most of the movie, as the mage told him, and then he finally gives in and lets the sword go,
and it kind of gives him slow-mo powers where he can move slow and like hit things like real dramatically.
That might have been an after effect that they added in the movie. You
Carrie,
for sure.
I never doubt Guy Ritchie.
but so he kills all these dudes, and then there's this scene of him like, because the sword takes control of him, I guess, and he's just standing around like a what have I done, what have I become kind of scene, and the camera's just
what have I done?
Circling around him, and he's just standing there for like a minute solid, just doing nothing, but going. And so that leads us to believe that this soundtrack is about a third just heavy breathing.
Yeah. So like they'll be like fighting, and you just hear.
It's like this is how they instill excitement and adrenaline into the audience by just breathing at them. It's fucking great.
What do you think, George?
You gonna catch it?
This all sounds like it's not your grandma's King Arthur story. And
It is not.
Don't take your grandma.
What if I told you that at the end he defeats good old Jude Law and he's standing at this table that's a very circular.
Oh my god! So
it's a
the
very
table looks like
table.
The table looks like Pac-Man, and this scene is so fucking painful because all these dipshits are standing around this table, and they're like, "What is it? Is it a dance floor? Is it a wheel of cheese? How'd you get it in the door? Did you roll it?" And then the last line of the movie is King Arthur going, "It's a table. You sit at it."
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, man.
It's not a good movie.
Okay.
But, like,
There's a lot of good goofs.
there's a lot of good goofs, but not intentional goofs.
No.
So you guys found it fun to make fun of it, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were very
What-
obnoxious in the theater.
Oh, yeah. I hope no one who was sitting around us, like, really liked that movie, because as soon as the credits started rolling, me and Ryan were like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, like, I remember my first thing was like, Carrie, holy shit, that was terrible. I, like, yelled it, because, like, I was so tired. I didn't care about etiquette. Man.
We don't care about etiquette on this podcast.
We're some
Not
rude...
your grandma's podcast.
We're some rude dudes like Keen Arty.
Yeah. All I wanted from this movie was to be even close to capturing the magic of gods of Egypt, and this is the closest we've got.
That's a weird bar we have set on this podcast.
It's a bar that I have set in my own personal life.
Oh, is there anything else to say about King Arthur then?
No.
It sounds not great. Anyways.
Even worse than that.
Speaking of movies that are not great, Alien Covenant, the sequel, well, it's the sequel to Prometheus, but it has been marketed like, Prometheus? What the fuck were you talking about? Prometheus?
Remember Alien? Remember Sigourney Weaver?
Oh, boy.
That was great. Let's do that again.
All right, okay. Alien Covenant is the sort of sequel, well, it is the direct sequel to Prometheus. It takes place a lot, like a few hundred, at least 100 years, right? Or at least 50 years?
10 years.
Oh, no, never mind. 10 years after
10
Prometheus. We follow this, it's this giant colonization ship called the Covenant, who is looking for a sustainable planet where they can bring their Covenant there and have a society and like start something new on a new planet. And they go to do this, and then they run into some difficulties, and then they're like, oh, we found a planet that's pretty fucking suitable. But it's not the planet we're going to. And then there's this guy, well, what's his fucking name?
James Franco.
James Franco is in this movie for a split second.
On my cast notes, I put James Franco.
James Franco is in this movie for a split second, and he plays the captain of the ship who gets burned alive inside one of the fucking pods.
Instead of putting him in the life pod, they accidentally put him in the incinerator pod. It was an honest mistake. Anyone would have made it.
And he's not. He wouldn't even have to go on set for this movie. It's literally they're watching a video on like a tablet or a computer of him like, hey, remember, I love you so much. I'm going to live forever. Can't wait to go to this fucking planet with you. And then he dies. And then it's like, the audience is like, was that James Franco? Okay. Anyways, James Franco.
So now a new captain was put in charge.
New captain's put in charge. He's like a religious guy, and he thinks everyone's out to get him because he's super religious. And he's all like, "We're gonna go to that planet because it's closer, and we don't want to go back to hypersleep." And so they go in there.
There's a distress signal there. They gotta get there. They gotta find what's going on.
Yeah.
And all the ratings say this is a perfect planet. It is absolutely perfect. There is nothing wrong with this planet. I cannot emphasize that enough.
It's so good that when you step out of your spaceship, don't even bother putting on your helmet. Don't even
worry
about
it.
There's fresh air. There's wheat.
Fucking breathe it in. You
Every
look great. You
single-
know that wheat? You look at it like that's fucking wheat, man.
I saw this review that was like every single issue that they run into in that scene where everything goes to shit would have been avoided if they would have been wearing helmets.
It's incredible. Anyways, yes, they get on this planet. It turns out it's Prometheus planet from the last movie. Ooh, ba-doop. And they all get fucked. And they run into the old, what's his fucking...
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
David.
David.
And there's Walter.
Yeah, they have their own Michael Fassbender because Michael Fassbender is just the model for all these robots that Weyland-Yutani or whatever company. It's not Weyland-Yutani, is it? Is it Weyland?
Probably.
I assume they're just there's like a Apple or whatever. They just
What if it is Apple?
And they get in there and they're like Michael Fassbender, the bad Michael Fassbender that you know is bad, but they don't know is bad.
David.
It's all like everything's fine, everything's good. I'm not jacking off to aliens or anything. That'd be crazy. And then shit goes to shit, and then you realize at that point that after because I feel like at the beginning of the movie, like this is like this feels really repetitive. This feels like a trodden version of Alien. Like this just is Alien. Like if you got to see the colonization parts of Alien 2, and then when shit goes bad from Alien 2, with a little bit of Alien, and by that I mean just the title card is on there, and it drags on forever, desperately trying to reach for you to remember this is fucking Alien. And then at that point, once you meet David, like, oh no, this is just Prometheus. Fucking David goes like, Ozymandias and and he just monologues about shit, and people just don't do anything, and oh my god.
There's a lot of poor decisions in here, which is like the most similar to
like Prometheus
can be. Like mistakes that like any reasonable person would not make.
Any reasonable person wouldn't make. Any reasonable scientist should not make.
Carrie, please.
They are scientists.
I'm gonna go take a smoke, but like over here.
No, he was like, I'm gonna take a leak, and then he doesn't take a leak. He just goes and smokes.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I like moments of this film.
Oh yeah.
Like the back
Every single Michael Fassbender moment. No, it's good, George. Come on. I'll do the fingering, George.
Actually, here's the thing. I take everything back because the first false alarm was the opening for the movie before the credits start. Where we see David and the Weyland-Yutani president hanging out here, right? And it's just this fucking bearing conversation about our makers and what the
but
fucking...
I'm immortal and you're not.
And they're in this white fucking space.
No. He's like, give me some fucking tea.
And you're like, oh no, this is very Prometheus-like. Anyways, yeah, you were saying that there's moments.
I really enjoy like the look again.
Sure, it's a gorgeous looking movie.
I like the main girl Daniels. I like Danny McBride's character is great.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
They're both awesome. The moments with the back scene, I like that up until we see the creature. Like, the new designs, they're not bad, but they don't incite fear in the same way.
There's
like
a name for them,
does.
right?
They're Nenomorphs.
Nenomorphs.
Because there's, like, the tiny, like, baby ones, and, like...
They're, like, all white.
They're all white. And
they're all fleshy.
They're all fleshy, and they're missing, like, a few, like, features from the Xenomorph. Because this movie's all about, how the Xenomorph got made.
Yeah, and how they...
And, like, they don't, like, incite fear the same way, like, the biggest scene in the first Alien is, the chest bursten scene. This weird penis monster comes out of the dude's stomach and just slithers away. And it's like, what the hell was that? But it doesn't work as well when it's like this weird, like super quick, like creature with all of its limbs. And
doing little musical theater numbers, dancing around.
Also, you're in a med bay, so the lighting is very, very bright and like fluorescent, and you're like, that is a CGI looking ass thing.
And then, like, when you even see the bigger ones, they still aren't super intimidating. They're weirdly skinny and bony and, like, just strange. And not the scary way, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about them either, but I don't know. And then the big thing about the movie is that this is how the Queen was made. And then, spoilers, by the way, the movie is about, like... This is how David fucking did all the elements to birth the Queen.
He was created by people who had a creator, so he used to create something else. It's a circle. It all comes around.
Arrival.
Damn it!
So yeah, man, this movie, me personally, as someone, so I went into this knowing nothing, and I for some reason had my thought that this was going to be a course correction, and they weren't going to have Ridley Scott do whatever the fuck he wanted to do, and I think that's why I was so upset, because when I tweeted about it, it wasn't like, oh, this movie sucks, it was like, fuck, this is Prometheus 2, shit! Like, if you told me, do you want to watch Prometheus 2? No, I don't want to watch Prometheus 2, it's going to be boring as hell and very pretty, and the prettiness is just going to seem dull, because everything else is dull, and I don't know, man. I like Danny McBride and I like some of the crew members, but
I think just like the biggest issue with the Alien movie is whenever I talk about people, they're always like, "Oh, Michael Fassbender, that his weird scenes were great. His fight scene with himself was great." And it's like that shouldn't be what we're talking about in an Alien movie. I feel because it's Alien, not Michael Fassbender.
Well, see, because I didn't like the movie, so I have to find the parts that made me a little happy.
Which was Michael Fassbender playing a flute with himself.
Yes.
Like, look, that scene's great. I'm not going to argue the artistic beauty that is Michael Fassbender fingering his own flute while himself is playing it. It's just, it's not scary or interesting.
It's the weird. People really thought this movie. Apparently there's people who think this movie is scary. I don't see any attempts at horror. I don't even see any attempts at horror.
Like when there's the fucking Three Stooges ass scene of them slipping on blood.
I love that in movies. I love it when people slip on blood. It is incredible. Because, like, they're clearly running. It's like, oh my god, but then they slip on blood. It's like, oh. But, like, there's so many scenes, like, from, like, Alien that aren't, like, shown in here. Like, there's a scene when a guy gets, like, a thing on his face and a chest burster comes out. Like, that's seen all off screen with Michael Fassbender just, like, watching it happen. And it's like, those were so good, so why not just do that again?
See, Ryan, that's my problem with this movie. This feels like a retread of everything the Alien franchise has ever done.
And look, I'm fine with that because most of them aren't good. Most of the Alien franchise is not good.
Sure, you know what? That's fine. There's still bits and pieces of it if I could pull out. That's the problem, right, with Alien? Like, I'd be like, you can make a new Alien movie because, like, I don't think Alien has held up great because I think Alien 1 is, like, it looks gorgeous, and I love, like, the soundtrack and what they're going for, but it's really long. It's kind of boring. And Aliens, it's like the blueprint for every action movie, so you've seen it, and watching it now, you don't have the same effect. Like, so, I mean, like, Ernie fucking Hudson's character is still great. He's fucking awesome. Actually, yeah, like, just seeing them as the cartoon fucking military people was funny as hell, and Sigourney Weaver's good. And Alien 3, I don't like. I think it's very boring. I haven't even seen Alien 4. So.
You don't like Alien 3? That's the one everyone loves.
I don't like that dog Alien.
No.
But yeah, like, I feel like there's so much stuff about Alien. You can make a new movie, but this movie, it's retreading the same stuff, and it's not doing it in a way that's interesting at all for me personally.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like I liked it more than everyone else based on solely tweets. And I feel like that's mostly just like I love Alien and I like parts of this, and I feel like I still have hope that maybe someday we'll get a really good Alien movie.
What if I told you we got the director from Chappie?
Fuck no.
I think is that dead in the water, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Ridley Scott's gonna make Alien prequels until he dies.
Carrie, I feel like we haven't let you talk about this one here. Do you have any other thoughts other than Michael Fassbender?
Because in order to watch this movie, I watched the Alien for the first time. And
how do you feel about Alien?
Alien was so fucking awesome. And Aliens was cool. Aliens was the one that ran on long for me. But then when she fought the big blobby thing, that was awesome. And then I watched Prometheus, and I was like, this is different and weird. And then Alien Covenant was dumb.
It makes you wonder, like, with Ridley Scott, like, was there, like, a part where Ridley Scott, like, there was a passion in him, and he made Blade Runner, and he made Alien, and everything since has been, like, and, like, this feels like an old man resting on his laurels. Like, that's what Prometheus and Alien Covenant. No, I'm still. It feels like fucking George Lucas. Like, people told him, "You're a fucking genius, man. You fucking got it." And he goes out there, and no one tells him no. And he just makes this fucking thing where two Michael Fassbenders kiss. Spoilers. Sorry.
But that's what he envisioned all them years ago.
Right.
He wrote down the blueprint for the entire franchise. He had it in the bag.
I'm glad you enjoyed Alien, by the way, Carrie.
I like that a lot.
Alien's very good.
Sigourney Weaver is now my wife.
It's very good. That cat makes it out. And then,
that cat makes it out, yeah.
And then just leave it in two.
That was the scariest part of that movie for me, since I'm so allergic to cats, and she was in an escape pod with a cat, and I was like, I would die.
And then you look at the other side, and you see the Izzy both like, oh,
it's
fuck.
even worse there. It's like, oh, well, that's fine, but I'm allergic to that fucking cat.
Now I just kind of want to talk about Alien and Aliens. But off tangent, is it weird? Since you saw them side by side, does it? Because I always felt like Aliens starts off fucking fantastic, especially going from, like, the original movie. Like, it just starts off bam, and she's all like, "You fucking idiots! There's a fucking alien out there! You fucking piece of shit! Stop suing me!" Anyways, Aliens.
I'm
Alien
always-
Covenant, not good.
I'm
Alien.
always like Aliens for me is like the first 10 minutes is great.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, and then like the last 20 minutes is great. And
Yeah.
the rest of it is
Yeah.
like,
I like
not
when
really me.
immediately continuing Sigourney Weaver's story.
Oh yeah, that's
meeting
so awesome.
the dumb crew that's just like cocky as hell and are gonna get their ass kicked, and Bill Paxton's fucking fantastic. And then shit goes to shit. It's a bug hunt, man. Game over, man. And then that gets really dull for me. And then the Queen, and it's fucking great.
The scenes with all the face huggers, though, those things genuinely freak me the hell out.
Do they?
That's like, because I tweeted about this. I rediscovered an internalized irrational fear that I had when I was young, when I was watching these movies, of horseshoe crabs, which look like face huggers, because I remember seeing them at the zoo and they freaked me the hell out, and I just internalized it and forgot about it. And then
I saw those crabs, and I was like, those look a lot like the aliens from Alien.
So I saw the face huggers and I was like, it's like, it makes me nauseous to look at them. So that's very effective.
Anyways,
I have to give kudos to
turns
that.
out Alien's still good, but Alien Covenant, I think, Ryan, even though you liked it more than I would you say it's like?
I want to watch it again just to like make sure like how I feel about it. Cause like there's parts I really like, and then it's just so Prometheus. But like the worst parts of Prometheus, like I feel like Prometheus had like good stuff too, but I don't know. If
I
this
like
had-
Prometheus way more than Alien Covenant.
Really?
Way.
If I had
more.
to pick, because I watched them on like the same day. So
You did. That,
You did.
Yeah.
we had a long text conversation all day.
Yeah.
I think Prometheus is a lot prettier than Alien
I
Covenant
think
too.
I don't know. I think I gelled more with Prometheus just because Alien Covenant just was relentlessly stupid, and Prometheus felt like it was trying to do something a little bit, but I don't know.
I think so too. And Alien Covenant feels like Ridley Scott's still kind of there, but he's also like, people want to make an Alien movie.
Here you
so
go,
here you
fuckers.
go. Here's like the same like
Yeah.
can an Alien movie just end happily? Please, just fucking once. Just give me that. Like you see the bait and switch happening from a mile away with Alien Covenant, like 5 fucking miles away. Like he's not. It's the bad Michael Fassbender. Again, spoilers. We're just spoiling. We should just make this podcast like we're just gonna
we
fucking
should
spoil it.
do,
We're just
we should just make it spoilers.
it's just
all the
spoilers.
time.
Fucking who cares? I don't know, man. Just give me a happy alien movie once.
If you want a happy ending, then Carrie's got the movie for you.
Oh
Dun,
no!
dun, 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 dun.
So
Why?
Carrie, I'm gonna let you talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Do Not Tell Any Tales first, and then I'm gonna give you my take.
No,
Because-
you're gonna make me look stupid. That's what you want
No,
to do.
because I saw the
him
first.
up.
I saw
Knock
the
him
first.
down.
I saw the first. The first Pirates film when I was a kid. Didn't like it. I found the skeletons weirdly scary, even though I could watch Alien and be fine. I don't know why. And then I hadn't seen any other ones, and I just jumped right into Pirates 5 because I love to suffer. And admittedly, I forced Carrie to see a lot of shitty movies. So I feel like this is evening the
this
field.
is penance for me going with you to Blair Witch for
And
a
before-
second time.
And before we go any further, I was hoping this movie would bomb. I'm here to tell you that it did a wonderful overseas. It murdered overseas. It did bomb here. It bombed here, but we don't matter anymore. We don't matter. So get ready for
excited.
more movies.
So,
Anyway,
Hell
so
yeah.
Carrie, why am I wrong by thinking this movie's a steaming pile of shit?
This one is better than the fourth one.
Okay.
I will tell you that. So it was.
this one has got Penelope Cruz in it though. So
No, but it has
Oh.
Javier Bardem.
That's pretty good.
So that's Penelope Cruz's husband, right? I think they're married.
I don't know.
I mean, in my ideal, yes, in my ideal world, that makes sense. Like that's when like Jay-Z and Beyonce were together. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, what is the set? So is this a
Oh,
direct
the-
sequel to
the-
4? Is this a whole new
yeah.
thing?
So
Because 4 was put like a spin. Was more like this is a side story or
Let me-
something, right?
So 4 was after 3, and Jack is going to find the Fountain of Youth, and then there's all this other bullshit with Barbosa as a privateer, and all these the Spanish sailors trying to get to the Fountain of Youth, and Blackbeard and Penelope Cruz and Sam Claflin as this religious guy and mermaids and all this fucking shit, and then Jack Sparrow tricks him and kills Blackbeard and maroons Penelope Cruz on an island, and that's the 4th one. And so then the 5th one, it starts off with they have the main setup is the main character is the kid from Gods of Egypt, so you know, but
Everyone knows.
Brenton
kid.
Thwaites or something.
Okay.
But he is playing Will's son.
Oh, okay.
So there's a scene where he goes to the Flying Dutchman and Will is all barnacle-y, and he's like, son, you can't be here.
Wait, Will is in this movie?
Yeah, for a
Is
little
it
bit.
actually Orlando Bloom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, and so then his name's Henry, Will's son. He wants to find a way to break the curse that is tying Orlando Bloom to the ship, because he wants to free his dad. And then there's this other character named Karina, and she is a woman of science, but everyone accuses her of being a witch. And
Even though there's an actual witch in the
there
village.
is an actual
That is
witch,
the-
but
Which I feel like
she's a woman of
which
science.
Which the people, like, they know about this witch, and they're like, well, but she likes stars, so let's kill her. What? Okay, back to you, Carrie.
But I know that these movies like aren't actually good. I just really enjoy them.
I would say the first one is actually
no,
good.
the first one is good. The first one is really good.
Yeah,
But,
okay, whatever.
Yeah, you don't count, Ryan. Yeah, so it's basically they both realize that they need to find Poseidon's trident in order to make this curse breaking happen. Because Karina has this diary that was left to her by her father, and it was Galileo's diary, and she finds that there's a map in the stars, and it leads to an island. So they have to find the trident. And so then I don't remember.
So they need the trident to grab what thing?
They need
hear
it.
the
If
curse?
they have the trident,
if
they
have
break
trident,
all the
they can
curses
break
in the sea.
Yeah, every
It
single
breaks
curse
every
in
single
the
curse.
sea if they
Okay.
get the
What
trident.
happens if a curse happens after this? Are they fucked forever?
Yeah.
No, it's like the Dragon Ball. So
Curses don't stick
so
anymore.
the trident disappears, and they gotta go find it again.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Anyways, you're saying.
But so then they're out sailing.
The
And,
little kid, the kid guy, he like gets trapped on the like triangle, and like he meets the
Bermuda Triangle?
It's the Devil's Triangle.
Oh.
and
Okay.
he meets the bad
Yeah,
guys
he
who are all
gets-
CGI
because-
monsters who look terrible.
Yeah.
They
So
look terrible.
Salazar and his crew are all ghosts.
Okay.
Because when Jack Sparrow was first starting out, there was this because Javier Bardem plays this guy named Salazar,
Right.
and he is this guy who was a soldier, and he would go around just fucking laying pirate ships out. He hated pirates because they killed his grandfather and his father, so he was wrecking shop with all the pirates, killing them. And then there's this one part where he's talking to Barbossa about this, because okay, can we talk real quick about Jack's compass is the most bullshit plot thing ever, because in this movie he gives his compass away because he's like a miserable drunk, as he is, and he trades it for a bottle of rum.
Okay, I was gonna
And
say that.
and he sets it down on the counter, and everything starts like rumbling and shit. And Salazar and his crew were trapped they were confined in the Devil's Triangle. And once Jack gave away the compass, he was like, he gave away the compass. We're free. So then they can leave. And it was like, why though?
I've been meaning to ask you, is there a reason why the compass, getting rid of it, releases demon ghosts?
Well, when he gets okay, so Salazar gets trapped. When Salazar and his crew die, it's because this other ship, they killed the captain of that ship, and Jack happened to be on that ship, and he was younger, and he walks up to the captain as he's dying, and the captain is like, it all belongs to you now, Jack. Here's the compass. It points to whatever you want in this world. Don't betray it. And so I guess by him giving it away, he betrayed it. But that scene
Is
was
it
also
sentient?
Yes, but didn't Jack also was supposed to have, according to the second movie, he bartered the compass from Calypso, so that's confusing. But anyway, so then when he gives away the compass, Salazar hates Jack because he disrespected him. Salazar's character is all about respect, and Jack is standing in the crow's nest of the ship yelling at him, and he's like, oh, if you leave now, I'll let you live, or whatever. And
He's a ghost.
Salazar is retelling this story to Barbossa. He's like, and from that day, he looked like a bird in the crow's nest, so we called him Jack Sparrow. It's like, that's why he's called Jack Sparrow, huh? He looked like a bird in the crow's nest.
Which, like how did...
No, and then that scene ends, and Jack does this sweet maneuver and gets their ship out of the way, and Salazar's ship barrels into the Devil's Triangle and explodes on all these rocks, and they all die. And all of the ghosts are these, like, floating around, like, weird hunks of flesh and giblets and stuff, and Salazar, his hair is floating around. You're like, why, though? And his ship explodes, and you see all the people, like, dissipate, and it's like, oh, they're the ghosts of what they were exactly when they died. And then Salazar fell into the ocean, so his hair is all floated around because he died underwater. But, so that's why he hates Jack Sparrow, because he pretty much made him die. But then...
I have a lot of questions first.
Yes.
So, Jack Sparrow is with the kid in this movie? The kid that wants to get... Because the kid wants to try it, right?
Yeah.
Why does Jack Sparrow... Where is Jack Sparrow play in this movie?
Because he knows that... Let's see. Because there's all the images of Jack Sparrow, like, on his wanted poster, and he's been searching for Jack because he knows that Jack can help him
Find the trident.
Oh,
okay.
Jack has the ship, and he's like, there's a really... I read this moment in the movie as really self-aware, even though it probably isn't, but he goes into the cell, Henry, Will's son, goes into the cell, and is like, I'm looking for Captain Jack Sparrow, and Jack's in this jail cell, and he's like, oh, well, it's your lucky day, because I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, and the kid's like, no, you're not. You don't... I've heard such great things about Captain Jack Sparrow, and you were pathetic, and it's like, yeah. So it's like, it feels like when you tell people about how great these movies are and then they watch them, they're like, that was fucking dumb.
Okay, so Jack is in jail, and then Will finds him, and that's how Jack gets in this movie? That he's helping the kid?
He's helping the kid because the ghosts, like, escape, and now they're off to kill him.
So
he
okay,
wants to
so
stop
okay,
it.
Way, because the ghosts
So they
are
both
free
have...
now.
If they both get the trident, then they break the curse
right, they
of
break
the
the
ghosts
ghosts
and his
the,
dad.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the girl character,
Karina.
Boobs McGee, her boobs are always out, whatever.
Okay.
She's just there because she has the map and she also wants to find her dad or something.
Yeah, because
you know.
she thinks that since the diary is Galileo's diary, she thinks that her dad is like an astronomer that wanted her to complete this puzzle. And there's this rock on the front. It leads her that they have to go to this island. So they're like, the island is where the trident is.
Oh, okay.
So then they're going
Island with no map. How me
the
bloody
map no
supposed-
man can read.
How me supposed to bloody see an island with no bloody map, you bloody pirate mate. Damn it.
So yeah, it's just a bunch of silly.
It's all the goofs on their way to get the treasure to save everything.
Okay, so I have an idea what this movie's about.
Yes.
Okay, Carrie, is this movie good? And even comparing it to where does this in your fucking list of best?
Oh, okay. If I were to personally rank the Pirates movies, it would be 2, 1, 5, 3, 4.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it's stab in the middle. Okay.
Yes.
So what makes this movie better than those other movies, I guess?
Well, because it's a lot. It goes back to being goofy.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Weird and strange.
Also, 2 is your favorite movie?
Yeah, because I really like Davy Jones.
Okay. Anyways, right.
Like, 1 is obviously better than 2, but I just personally like
Okay.
2 better just because of all the Kraken stuff. And everyone hates that ending, but I just get really jazzed by that ending. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
I mean,
that means
as
there's
some-
definitely a third
I mean,
one.
as someone who knew that they were making these together, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever, that makes sense.
It's really goofy and dumb, but I just genuinely enjoyed it. And I also realized that I am not over Jack Sparrow at all, because I had this moment while we were driving home, and I was like, you know, when you fall out with someone, you're like, I don't need that person anymore. You pep yourself up, and then they like walk by, and you're like, oh shit. So I was watching this movie, just genuinely enjoying it, and I realized I'd never seen a Pirates movie with any of you guys before, like for the first time, because I was sitting and watching it and just giddy as fuck, enjoying the hell out of it. I was the only person in the theater laughing in most of the things, and afterwards, everyone was like, Carrie, you really liked that, huh? I was like, yes. Ryan,
you lay into this thing.
Reel it in.
So, I fucking hate this movie. The jokes never land, ever, and they keep going. They keep
Except with me.
They keep circling around the same jokes. Like, there's just one joke where the girl's like a horologist, and
She's a horologist.
She's a
The study
horologist.
of time.
And everyone's like, oh, bloody horologist,
No shame in
mate.
that, love. My mother was, and she didn't yap about it as much as you.
And they keep getting back to stuff like that all the time.
Hector, you should know she's a horologist.
And it's like, why? And the characters all suck. They're two-dimensional as hell.
To be fair, there are bad guys. There are bad people. Everyone in the movies are bad people.
There's a romance between like the kid and the girl, and like it's so like forced. Like,
Yeah.
and it's, oh my god, the twist of like who her dad is
Oh,
is
yeah.
so obvious and
We're gonna spoil it. We're gonna
just
spoil
stupid.
it. Barbosa is the father.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because he sees her diary and he's like, that diary
Wait, so
is
was
familiar.
Barbosa an astrologist?
No, he just stole that diary because it had this big ruby on the front of it,
gotcha.
and he left her
she
at an
had it
orphanage,
thinking
and
it-
he was like,
gotcha.
I think that he was thinking the ruby would get her enough money in life, so he just stole the diary. But he was like, I never thought she'd take to those scribbles on the inside.
Okay,
so.
gotcha.
So he has this whole element of being shameful that this
Gotcha.
scientist is his daughter, so he doesn't want to admit it to her.
There is this awful scene that goes on for way too long. They're being chased by the ghosts, and they end up on this island. They all get knocked out, and then Jack Sparrow wakes up and he's in a wedding, and he's supposed to marry
That
this.
scene is god awful. I agree.
And like he's marrying this girl, and he's like, "Oh, but she's so fucking ugly. Look at her. She's disgusting."
What is that? Hit her.
And like it keeps going on, and it was like, "You gotta marry her." It's like,
Because they land on this island with these Irish pirates, I believe, and Jack Sparrow owes them something, as he does to most of the other pirates in these movies. And to settle his debt, the main pirate guy is like, "You're gonna marry my sister," and you know.
It's terrible and goes on forever, and it could be cut out of the movie, and you would not know.
To be honest, this sounds way better than 2 and 3 to me. At least, because the thing I hate about 2 and 3 is how fucking self-serious. Like, this is the greatest story. I'm fucking telling you a fucking tale here, motherfuckers. I'm Jerry Bruckheimer. Never has there been such a convoluted story of a woman actually trying to discover who she is, and all this other fucking idiots. Whatever. This sounds way better, to be honest with you.
This is terrible.
It's got Javier Bardem? How's Javier Bardem?
He's pretty good. He's like a goofy villain, and I think someone told him to like amp up his accent or something, because every single time he says Jack Sparrow, he's like Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
So, but it's goofy, but the CGI on him is a little strange.
It's awful. Like
I'm trying to be nice.
His
Ryan.
wavy hair, like all wavy wet hair, is like so weird. It looks like you're watching like an early PS3 like thing.
Gotcha.
It's
Folklore.
It's pretty
Pretty good
bad.
video game. I gotta tell you what.
I feel like I don't get it because I haven't seen most of these movies.
Have you seen what's your reference to this? Have you seen one?
The first one when I was like 8.
And you don't like that movie?
No.
Okay.
And I don't remember most of anything.
I think it's because I saw one after I saw 2 and 3.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and so I remember seeing the first scene, like, this is the most energy I've ever seen in this movie. It's not a bunch of people dialoguing for fucking ever while on a fucking boat, and then fucking Will and his fucking dad, and oh, fucking God. I don't even know. Anyways, Carrie, do you have anything else to say about this? I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really liked it, but I don't know. I guess because I feel like Pirates is becoming the cool thing to hate, but I still really like it.
I would agree. Everyone, it feels like, I don't know. It's weird. There's this group, like, I don't know, people with, you can throw in the Pirates love with fidget spinners and all these other things millennials love. Because I guess this is one of those things. Although most people agree that I only know like one person in the internet people that I follow who is around our age who enjoys it, and everyone else makes fun of him for even liking it. So I don't know. I feel like there's still people who like you, genuinely like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I love it.
But I don't know. And as long as these movies are not serious, I'm fine with them existing.
Yeah, this one's way goofy.
Because I put this and Transformers in the same thing, like the most dumbass movies.
I need to leave.
But as long as if this is fun,
how dare you?
that's better. Because I could not stand how serious 2 and 3 took themselves. I think it's maybe it's because they made them together, and so they're very long and overdwrought movies because they knew that, like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. One more. There's another scene because like the ghosts can't step on dry land; they have to be in the ocean. And there's this scene where Jack, Henry, and Karina are on this dinghy going towards the island that has the wedding scene on it right after, and the ghosts just all jump off the ship and start running on the surface of the water. And up until this point, Karina, she's the woman of science, so whenever someone talks about ghosts, she's like, "Oh, sure, ghosts, huh? Oh, I bet you believe in krakens, too." And then she's sitting on the beach, and all these ghosts start running. She's like, "Ghosts? Ghosts?" And then she stands up and goes, "Ghosts! Ah!" and runs kind of with urgency into the forest.
I was gonna say, was there a moment with the Kraken part where everyone's like, but you were the only one who was really into it, so. Because that seems like a thing like in a superhero movie, like,
Oh.
you're like, ba-ba-da-ba-da. It's like, Kraken.
Well,
Remember that time? Fun time.
Like, I bet you believe in krakens and mermaids, too.
Fun times, guys.
And then-
Hey.
I bet you've been on
No, yeah,
Stranger
'cause she's
Tides
like-
before.
Because he's like, I talk to the dead. And she's like, oh, I bet you talk to krakens and mermaids, too. And he's like, krakens don't talk. Everyone knows that. And there's this other part where Will's son's character like acts as the audience being like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jack Sparrow? You're just bullshitting your way through this entire... Like, there's this part where Jack is giving him some advice on how to woo Karina, and then Jack goes, savvy? And then Henry's like, no, I do not savvy. And Jack just goes, who hurt you? It's like, what the fuck is going on? I just enjoy this movie a lot.
Like, for the reasons you enjoyed or why I hate it.
Again, I think this sounds way better than anything in it. It's got fucking... Is Will in it for a little bit only?
Yeah,
Great, wonderful.
You keep thinking that he's gonna show back up, and I'm kind of glad he didn't. But then when he breaks in order to break the curse, they have to break the trident, and that like releases all the curses, and then Will shows back up on the island. Like there's an after credit scene after the third.
That's where I was gonna go.
I mean, there is one after this movie.
That's what I was gonna say.
The after credit scene after the third one is Elizabeth standing on the shore with a young kid waiting for Will to get back. So then the after credit scene the end of this movie is them standing on that same hill waiting for Will to come back, and then there's this part.
Wait, so do they get the trident? Spoilers.
They get the trident, and they have to. Salazar like controls it for a little bit, and they like have.
Well,
all the power.
first, before that, they capture the guy, and he's like, "I'm gonna put my spirit in his body,"
yeah,
and
Salazar
they're like,
possesses
"No, if you
Henry.
do it, you'll be stuck in his body forever." And he's like, "Yeah, but then I'll have the trident, so it'll all work out."
And then he grabs the trident, and Henry just falls off of him, and then Salazar's
which is like,
there.
yeah, you live in him forever, but you're alive. So like, why does that matter?
But
And also, why would we bring up that plot point? They're like, but if you do it, you can't ever come back. And it's like, yeah, but the trident can do anything. So what? I hated that so much.
But yeah, so then Elizabeth is there for a second too. Keira Knightley has zero dialogue in this movie, but she's in it for like 20 seconds because Will runs up, hugs Henry, and then Elizabeth was like back about 100 feet just so she could like walk over the hill and be revealed like, hey, Keira Knightley's in this movie. And they run and hug and kiss, and then Jack's looking at it through a telescope. He's like, "Oh, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen." And then they sail away. He's like, "I have a rendezvous beyond my beloved horizon." And then the movie ends. But then the after credit scene for this movie, I know Ryan hasn't seen it, so this is gonna be a surprise for both of you.
Oh boy!
Did Ryan just walk out as soon as it was
Well,
on?
I was sitting next to Richard, and I was like, "There's probably an after credit scene, but I don't think we can convince anyone to stay." So we just left, and I went to see it again with my mom, and then me and my mom were like, "We're gonna stay. We're gonna see this after credit scene." And the after credit scene is Will and Elizabeth in bed, and their bedroom
Shut the fuck up.
their bedroom door opens. And there's a shadow that you can kind of see the silhouette that looks like Davy Jones. And I was like, and then there's like this lightning crash and you see this claw jut up into the air. And then Will like wakes up and it's like, oh, it was just a nightmare, you dumb goof. And then it pans down and there's like a couple barnacles sitting on the floor of his room. So it's like, oh shit, Davy Jones is back. So I was trying to figure out how that would be possible. It seems like it wants you to think that since all of the curses of the ocean were broken, that Davy Jones could somehow still be alive. But that doesn't make sense because the curse that was placed on him by Calypso was that he would be a fish person. I don't know. But so we might get another Pirates movie. I know you're all really excited.
Wonderful, fantastic.
And I saw this other piece of trivia thing that was like, this is the third movie in the franchise to be marketed as the final adventure.
I was gonna say another thing about Pirates of the Caribbean, but I need to get the fuck off this boat. We need to leave. No, actually, no. I was gonna say that I was the original trilogy, and for some reason, I feel like the Pirates of the Caribbean original trilogy reminds me a lot of the original Star Wars trilogy.
I can get behind that.
Like it feels a lot like it, especially 2 and 3. And anyways,
Just as
something
iconic.
for you to chew on, listener. Anyways, fuck Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's talk about June, baby.
Ryan wants to talk about
I
the
have a
anime
quick take.
movie.
This is a quick take. I saw an anime movie.
I'm gonna look this up while you talk about it.
This movie is called A Silent Voice. It won the Best Animation of 2016 in the 27th Japan Movie Critics Awards.
Was this a thing you saw theatrically, or?
I saw it on the internet.
Okay, well that sounds completely legal.
Don't worry, man. So basically, don't look. Don't look at what it's about. I want to tell you guys the plot of this movie. This movie revolves around a guy, and basically in middle school he bullied this deaf girl until she had to leave school.
Okay.
How'd she know?
You're as terrible as that guy. So basically, it cuts to him like in high school, 18, and he just feels terrible about what he did to this deaf girl because he bullied her mercilessly in middle school, and he feels terrible and he hates himself and he regrets everything. He wants to kill himself. All the fun, wonderful things, and the movie is about him trying to redeem himself and getting to know this deaf girl who's now a grown adult. And it goes about her life and like things she's gone through living as a deaf person. And the movie's very pretty. It's all about sign language and fun stuff. It's wonderful and pretty, and it's so fucking good.
Is there an easy way to watch this that's not on the internet?
The thing is, like, the way I watched it, the subtitle stuff was definitely like kind of flawed, especially since a big driving point of this movie is sign language and text. I've heard they are working on an official English theme, but that's probably going to take a while just because there's so much of like that in this movie. It's all about language. So yeah, I would definitely look for it when it comes.
Someone
in English.
maybe, I don't know how well Your Name did. So maybe Funimation. Is it Funimation? Do you have any idea?
It's probably gonna be Funimation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like this and Your Name in Japan like really rocked the anime world. Your Name was just more like financially successful because it's more happy. This is about a deaf girl being bullied, so I feel like that probably turned away a few people.
It's interesting to live in a. I don't know. I don't think Your Name did as well. I did pretty well, but I thought I would do more than that. It's interesting because we live in a world now where people. Because back when like Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, all those movies came out, it was a place where like it was in this sort of where anime was like curiosity. It wasn't this giant mega. Like the thing is, the people who liked anime when they were growing up and were downloading fucking illegal fan subs now have money. Yeah. And so I'm interested to see if we see a lot more like Funimation doubling down more on these sort of anime movies. I'm excited for when we finally get the fucking titty anime in movie theaters. It's gonna be great times.
Finally.
Miss Kobayashi's Dragon made the movie, baby.
Oh boy. That was a good thing about A Silent Voice, that there wasn't any like titty boob.
It looks
stuff.
pretty. I'm looking at the poster. It looks very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Okay.
It's a great film. Look out for it.
All right. Anyways, June, baby. Wonder Woman. Maybe you heard of her. She's got an invisible plane? Yes. Jet, right?
Yeah, invisible
something.
Plane. I'm pretty sure it's plane.
Anyways, Wonder Woman is one movie that's coming out in June. Let's talk about June. Let's talk about Wonder Woman. How are we feeling about Wonder Woman? As usual, we record on a Thursday, which is the day movies sort of release early. So how are we feeling about going into Wonder Woman today? I'm strangely optimistic and positive.
I'm optimistic too. I was worried, and now reviews are like mixed, verging on positive.
Perhaps a little too positive.
Yeah,
Perhaps a little
that
hyperbole.
Uh-oh.
Anyways.
But I'm excited.
Me too. I feel
I want it to be good.
It's weird. I haven't gone into a movie with genuine excitement this entire year. So
the thing is, like, I still don't trust DC because everything's gotten progressively worse. Mm-hmm. Like, Man of Steel was like, okay at moments. Batman v Superman was like, there was like a moment that was good, and then
Suicide Squad was just a loud air horn the entire time. Stop!
I can't. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy guy. Please don't. Oh God. And like,
but also I'm worried. Like, you told me earlier this week that folks have said it's very similar to the Captain America, the first Avenger movie.
I've heard that.
And I don't really want to retread of that.
That's one of my least favorite Marvel movies.
I liked
really hate it.
I liked it at the time. It was very different. I still kind of like it, but I don't know. When I replay it in my mind, I'm like, it sounds boring and a thing I actually not want to watch.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't have Haley Atwell in it, so
that's true. It has Gal Gadot though. Gal, get out.
Well,
Gal, get out of the theater. It's over.
Oh, you mean one of a tragic character that was left in Fast and Furious series, Han's wife.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, Wonder Woman.
Chris
Again,
Pine.
That's another thing. I don't like Chris Pine.
I like Chris Pine.
He's funny. I like Bones.
I like Boone.
Anyways,
I like how all the poster for Wonder Woman is like Wonder Woman looking all majestic, and then Chris Pine's head in the corner, just like I'd be the movie too, guys.
I'm not looking forward to hearing that theme song. I hate that theme song.
Really? That was one of the best parts.
Picking the audio. Anyways,
That was one of my favorite parts. That theme song was one of my favorite parts of Batman v Superman, but that song doesn't fit the tune of like a World
it's
War
so
I.
intrusive and weird. It's
Yeah.
bizarre.
Because she was there ready to kick that.
It sounds
monster's
like air
ass.
horns. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. DJ Khaled. All right. Anyways, Underpants.
Captain.
Remember that book when we were little kids? It's a movie now. Some would say 10 years too late. I would say 10 years worth of money, you know what I'm saying? Because it's called the first movie. Isn't it?
Epic first movie.
The epic first movie. Let me tell you, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Let me tell you about him.
Man.
Captain Underpants.
I really liked those books as a kid because they're just like...
I love them too.
Because they're just stupid fun. And then I saw the trailer and I hated it.
It's not... I don't hate it.
It's not good, and the kids' voices are like so like clearly
You can
adults.
clearly,
Yeah.
I wish they were...
I mean, I just personally do not like Kevin Hart at all.
I think he's fine, but I wish they didn't get Kevin Hart because it's so like that's Kevin Hart. You can't like that's
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. I'm sorry.
And like even Ed Helms, who like I would think like would be a good voice of like that guy. Like I hear that voice come out of that mouth, and I'm like, that doesn't work.
That's Andy.
That's Andy.
Yeah.
That's Andy from The Office. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it.
It seems like they have.
I think we are gonna see it
Are
because
we?
I got a text from Greg the other day and he's like, Carrie, when are we seeing Captain Underpants?
I wonder what they
Greg
do.
wants to see
I wonder how they adapt that sort because they have to do something. Maybe they just ignore
They
the
can't have a
Flip-O-Rama.
flip book page.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I never read a single Captain Underpants.
I remember
Because you weren't one of those gross, slimy boys in the grade school.
looking back on it.
only reading Barbie books.
Looking back on it, like
Women.
the more I think about Captain Underpants, the more like it was very, very influential on me. I was a little kid. Like I remember drawing little dumb comic books.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know. This doesn't seem to. I mean,
I had one of those like draw your own hero books.
They should make a book out of that. I don't know. I haven't read a dang Pilkey book in forever, but there was that book about a cop dog named Cop Dog.
Oh wow.
It looked pretty good. That dog was pretty good. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I saw some promotional material for it, and are any of you familiar with the Lost meme? No.
The what?
The Lost meme? No.
Lost?
The Lost?
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's way. But anyways, it was a pretty good joke.
I don't know.
Pretty good.
That was a good meme, you guys. Come
Anyways,
on.
Next meme on the docket.
Tom
mummy.
Cruise. Am I
The
right?
mum meme.
The scream is terrible, and they reuse it in every trailer.
Oh yes.
They reuse that scream in a different place.
Yeah, they did. I know. They just put it in there. Anyway,
It was on the plane, and then it was later like when he was being chased, and then another one he's in the car, and he's like, I am not looking forward to the Dark Universe.
Anyways, The Mummy. I am so sorry. Editing that out is gonna be fun. Anyways, The Mummy, the first movie in the Dark Universe, which is the cinematic universe of the Marvel. Not the Marvel. Oops, my tongue slipped.
The Universal Monster franchise.
Yes.
It all has to be a franchise now.
This
they all
is the
have to
thing
tie
that Johnny
together.
Depp's gonna be the Invisible Man in.
Yes.
Right?
Good. Am I right? Hey.
Hey!
Anyways,
More like
Dun, 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 dun.
Russell Crowe's in it. Spoilers. He's Jekyll. He's Dr.
He's
Jekyll.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Who knows how that's going to turn out.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be weird. And then some girls, the female mummy.
Yeah. Here's
Like,
the thing.
Is Tom Cruise playing someone from those
No, I think
films?
he's the cipher which we've experienced these wacky adventures.
He's always running into all these crazy
That's the thing.
guys.
That's what I'm not sure. Is he the guy in all of these movies? Is that the plan? I'm not.
That would be hilarious.
I think that's what the plan is.
That's
Why do I keep
fucking-
running into all these invisible men and mummies
my
and
God.
wolfmen and that bride of Frankenstein?
I didn't know that this was like a thing that was happening. This is like a series.
I think I vaguely knew about it because I think
What?
Ryan mentioned it early. No, really, you didn't know until right
No.
now. Oh wow.
No, okay, I told you he was going to play the Invisible Man
Yeah,
in the
I know.
universe. You thought that'd just be one film where he plays an invisible guy? No,
I
Carrie,
thought it was
he's
just
going to be invisible
I
in
thought
a
it
bunch
was-
of
I
films.
thought they were remaking the Invisible Man movie.
Well, yeah, they are, kind of.
Okay, well, how was I supposed
But
to know?
Invisible Man-
Obviously, they're gonna also tie that to the Mummy and Jekyll
But
and
Carrie,
Hyde.
when you watch the Bride of
is
Frankenstein
this
remake,
gonna be-
you'll
is-
you'll see a floating hat, and you'll be like, "That's Johnny Depp."
Unlistenable.
Is Tom Cruise the page master? Is that what you're telling me?
I guess. I don't know.
Anyways, I
The
was gonna
loudest
say,
podcast you've ever.
The Mummy. Here's the thing. I like the first two Mummy movies. I like them a lot, actually. I think they're good movies.
I remember liking the first one. I haven't seen
They were
it.
fun
I
movies.
don't know if I've seen them.
I like the first two movies a lot.
Which movie has the part where a bug goes under a guy's skin?
Both. So I mean, those things are a very prevalent thing, but also
I remember seeing that, and that scared the fuck out of me.
I
when
look
was
at these
little.
two movies.
It might be one.
I look at these two movies, like the first Mummy and this one, and they feel too different to the point where I'm not like, oh, they're just ruining something. It just seems like
No.
It looks like a different movie about a different mummy.
Yeah, like it seems
so
like it's
when I
called...
read those people being like, oh, they're ruining the movie.
Wait, those people exist?
Yeah, there's a
They're
lot of
really
this
people.
about the Brendan Fraser movie?
Yeah, people are genuinely upset about that.
They are ruining Looney Tunes back in action. God damn it!
And it's like, come on, guys, come on.
Like this is
on.
like I don't even think they're signaling that this is not a reboot of that Mummy. This is a completely different thing.
Yeah, this is a different.
This is
movie.
not Emotep. This isn't a Knock Son of Moon, baby.
Yeah, there's no Scorpion King.
There's no Scorpion King in this.
Oh boy, we're the Scorpion King, George.
Did you not know Scorpion King in the Mummies?
Imagine the worst looking Dwayne Johnson you could ever imagine.
But here's the Mummy 2, and then Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Scorpion King is a spin-off of the Mummy.
It was not
So
well
this is gonna
received.
be the franchise that I have to binge before we watch.
No.
Hey man, I would love to see the Mummy and the Mummy Returns. And then there's the third movie. We don't talk about the Mummy, whatever the fuck that movie was called.
I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyways, the Mummy. We're probably watching it. I have low expectations. I'm excited to hear that scream.
see where that scream actually.
I would love it if every time he screamed, it was just that same clip.
It is incredible how unnatural that scream is.
Because Tom Cruise doesn't feel fear.
Oh
Someone
my
else had to tell him what to
god,
do.
that was incredible.
Imagine someone saying that they weren't going to see one of your movies.
Anyways, we gotta stop with
Let's
that.
talk about a movie that I'm really excited
I'm really
for.
excited. For
It comes at night, baby.
I don't know what it's about.
I saw a review for it, and I
a
know.
little more about it.
And I know what it's about. It's not what the movie I thought it is. It's very different from what I thought it is, but it
Yeah.
still sounds pretty interesting.
I am excited.
I'm interested. Yes.
It sounds like
Horror movie A24, A24.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would
The
say
Good Boys. They
it
always making
seems
them
very good.
films.
I think that first trailer it's a fantastic trailer, but I think now knowing what the movie's about, I think it's gonna piss some people off. Maybe.
like how The Witch did.
No, like The Witch is a witch movie. Like it's a witch ass witch movie. This movie is not like it doesn't seem. I'm sorry we're dancing around you, Ryan, but like it doesn't
It's
seem
fine.
like a straight up like. It's more of a character sort of movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say that it seems like another kind of same tone as
It
The
reminds
Witch.
it reminds me of The Walking Dead season 1, the video game.
Okay. I can
That's
get
what it
down
reminds.
yeah,
That's what it reminds me a lot of.
Yeah.
From what people tell me about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, it looks really great. I need a good horror movie. Has there been a good horror movie other than Get Out?
Cure for
Oh,
Wellness.
fuck.
That comes
God.
out on June 6th.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
the
really
ads.
excited.
They changed all the marketing materials for it.
they did?
Yeah, it's weird. They made it more look like a horror movie now.
I'm really excited.
No bottle
Get
later.
ready for our audio commentary.
oh my god, we should do that.
I would
no,
love
I'm
that.
really excited for everyone to actually watch that movie after me and Ryan hyping it up for 6 months and everyone watching it.
I will
is
watch
like,
it actually now.
That is stupid, guys.
I will watch- I will
We're gonna
watch
be
it.
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We watched The Great Wall before it, so we were really desperate for something. And we both really like Dean DeHaan, okay?
Anyways,
It's
it comes
a great
at
movie.
night. I'm excited.
What is this next movie?
All
the
Eyes on
list?
Me. Oh, that is the Tupac movie, which doesn't look very good.
I just
Uh,
put it on the list because I was like, I don't know, George likes
rap.
hip-hop.
Yeah, I saw it. And like, also, I don't like Tupac very much. I don't get.
I've
why.
heard that's a bad thing to say.
How could you?
Yes, that is. I think that. I don't know. It's just it's not music that it's the music never connected to me. But I don't know. It's like it's reminiscent. It feels like this is a little late. I would have felt this would have come out hot off the heels of Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, that's what
And Straight Outta Compton looked fucking. I think from the get go it seemed fucking fascinating, and this doesn't. do anything for me. And there have been movies on Tupac before. I don't know. Yeah, I have nothing to say on this one.
Yeah, I didn't.
Rough Night. I have only heard radio ads of this movie.
Really?
Is this the movie with a bunch of guys or gals going?
It's a bunch of girls.
Is it The Hangover?
It's the Hangover, except they accidentally kill a stripper.
A male stripper.
Yeah.
2017, George.
They should make a new Magic Mike. That's what all I gotta say. God, Magic Mike, that looks so good
I-
fucking movie. Anyways.
I watched this looks maybe funnier.
Wait, who's in it?
It's got
Scarlett Johansson,
Okay.
Julianne Bell.
Is that the girl who was in 22 Jump Street?
Yes.
Yeah. She kind of annoys me.
She's really funny on Workaholics.
Yeah.
She's one of the best part of that show. Kate McKinnon.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. And then two other people that are like you see them in your
Zoe Kravitz.
Yes.
Oh.
And
I thought there was someone else.
there is another person, but I don't know. But it looks like
Oh no, I don't see anyone else.
No, it's her.
Lana Glazer? What's
Yeah.
she's in Broad City, right?
I
I think.
She's in a lot of other comedy stuff.
She's in Broad
They're
City.
all
yes.
really funny ladies.
Yeah. So because I wasn't too crazy about Bridesmaids, and this
I like Bridesmaids a lot.
this kind of feels like Bridesmaids, but
I feel like a lot of movies have tried to make Bridesmaids
yeah,
movies, and I don't know.
if that's the good one and I didn't like it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there are bits I don't like
I
about
kind
that
of
movie.
want to see this. It looks up my alley. I don't
Yeah.
know. It looks like just like funny enough. Because there's a lot of comedy trailers you see and you're like, I think I'm good.
I wonder.
But with this one, I'm like, I think there might be something.
I
in
feel
here.
bad for Scarlett Johansson because this movie's gonna bomb. Make no mistake about it. And she just came off like the biggest bomb of the year, Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, Ghost in the Shell was not a great movie, but I would hate to see Scarlett Johansson tank, especially because she's a female actress. So you got like 2 strikes and you're out, son. I don't know. So I don't know. I feel like this movie's just gonna bum me out because like, whoa, this is not gonna be good for Scarlett Johansson.
You know what movie's not going to bum you out?
Ghost in the Shell 2. No, I don't know.
Cars 3.
Fuck!
Owen
I genuinely had no idea what you were talking about.
Owen Wilson is back.
I
And
didn't see trailers. I just heard descriptions of it.
Oh, you haven't seen the trailers?
No, other than the one where like he fucking gets
The
shit kicked.
teaser trailer.
So there's this millennial car who's like super cool and super fast.
Yeah, and
It's like a Tesla or something.
you may not be as fast as him, but you can be smarter than him.
I've only heard the director being like, Lightning McQueen, he's kind of old, and we got this cool, he's like hip and like, he's like millennial. No, he gets everything served to him. He doesn't really try hard, you know what
This
I'm
is
saying?
like Talladega Nights, but with talking cars instead.
Remove
I
all
like
the human elephants.
Talladega Nights was more of a sort of like, whatever. You can have a Talladega Nights comparison.
I don't care about this movie at
Me
all.
neither.
I haven't seen any of the Cars movies.
I like Cars 1. I like Cars 1 a lot. I think
about
it's a
Cars 2 where there's secret agents or something.
I found out while we were watching
Michael
the
Caine in
trailer
this one?
for this. I don't think so. That I had no idea that Owen Wilson was the voice of Lightning McQueen.
Wow, you're so
And
fast. Wow.
Like not that I ever took the Cars movie seriously, but now I
Ka-chow.
really. Ka-chow. Yeah.
I like Cars a lot. I think it's a good. I don't know.
You think it's underrated?
No, I mean it's
'Cause
so.
in terms of Pixar, that's the one people shit on. Even the first
Yeah,
one.
I mean it's not the smartest, but I think it's a good weird piece of Americana. Like it's a movie about it's a movie about this fucking like place in like the middle of the country that the route changed and then that city got fucked over. I don't know. It kind of reminds you of like Night in the Woods sort of thing. Like it's just these nice people, and I don't know. I like Cars. I don't know. But Cars 2, fuck that movie. It's insufferable. But I don't know. The worst.
But Cars 3 though.
What's this next movie, George? I don't know what that is.
47. That's
It's
the
this
shark.
year's Shark movie.
That's the Mandy Moore.
Oh yeah,
shark
the shark movie. Okay.
I've described this movie as open water, but it's happening at the bottom of the ocean instead of
Also
the
has
top.
Mandy Moore, and it looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
You know what was a good movie? Piranha. That was a good movie. You know what was not a good movie? Shark Night. Not a good movie.
What up,
You know,
Piranha?
also, you-
3 double.
That's a
D?
bad movie. Don't watch that movie. Also, Kara, you said this year's shark movie. Was there a shark movie last year?
Shallows.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the more I think about that movie, the more I like it, but only because it was shot very pretty, but also it has issues.
I feel like shark movies are along the same vein as clown movies, where you have to be like scared of clowns in order to be scared of the clown movie, and you have to be scared of sharks. Like, I'm scared of sharks, obviously, but like a shark movie, it's like, oh no, a shark. But
Better get away from
it
it.
wouldn't be very effective. I don't know.
Also, sort of, I hate animals, but for some reason when I watch The Shallows, like this is like anti-shark propaganda. Come on now. What are we doing?
Leave the shark alone, Blake Lively.
Stop poking out with the stick. No wonder it's so pissed
All I
at
remember
you.
about The Shallows is it was shot very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And that bird, you can see the bird inside.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. That totally flew over me. And there was a lot of butt shots in that movie.
Yep.
Why haven't I seen this?
Anyways, we're going to watch the shark movie, right? Like, I feel like that's a thing
If
we have to
nothing else
watch.
is out, then yeah.
Actually, no, I kind of actually genuinely want to watch the dumb shark movie because it looks like garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Let's talk about
God
a garbage movie.
Damn it, we cannot
This movie's got
watch
everything.
this movie.
King
I will
Arthur,
die.
Nazis, Unicron, and also Optimus Prime's a bad guy. Transformers: The Last Night. Is it the last movie? We all know it's not because there's a Bumblebee spinoff next year, and Transformers 6 is the year after that.
I'm gonna say, there's no way you redo your logo if this is the last movie in the franchise.
Carrie, whatever is wrong right now, you love all of these movies. You say they are the Pirates of the Caribbean of talking cars and robots.
Transformers is a fucking plague on cinema, and I know this is the most, like, fucking person who likes movies sort of thing, but the fucking poison that Transformers, like, instilled in every big budget movie is palpable, and I can't stand Transformers. God. Jesus. It's one thing if they're terrible, but they're also so boring. I feel like they last 5 eons.
The only movie I've ever fallen asleep in at the theater was Transformers: Age of Extinction. I fell asleep for a solid 10 minutes.
Actually, that movie had a different logo,
while
too.
Stanley Tucci was in Japan. I don't know what. Ugh.
He was in
Transform-
China.
Oh, sorry. See,
Transformers
I wasn't paying
3.
attention.
Transformers 3 is a good movie. I like that movie.
That's probably the best one.
Yeah, I think 3 is the best
but
one.
it's still insufferable.
I think it's fine. It's fine.
No.
It's got Leonard Nimoy as a robot. Come on now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but 4 and this one
Okay,
have
well, you know.
John Goodman as
John
a robot.
Goodman! Never mind. I'm back in. I love it.
I'm back in.
I want to talk about with this movie. When I went to see Beauty and the Beast, I got a trailer for this movie.
Right.
But
oh yeah, you told us
I
about that.
haven't. I wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
You always
I
mention it
haven't-
every time I see these trailers. Like, is this the one Carrie's talking about?
No.
And the point is, it doesn't
hasn't
exist.
It hasn't shown in any other movie. But the trailer that I got in front of Beauty and the Beast, they took it and spun it where it's all from the perspective of the little girl who's in this movie. And they take this girl power approach to the trailer. And she's like, of course I fight like a girl, don't you? And I was like, that is fucking rich. Coming from the guy who in his last movie had a character who kept a business card with him on his person that was a print off of the law that allowed him to fuck Mark Wahlberg's underage daughter. Yeah, I really
But Carrie-
believe your girl power message. And the trailer, I've only gotten this trailer
Yeah, I
in
don't
front
think
of
it
the
exists.
movie that's demographic is mostly
Yeah.
young girls and women. That is such bullshit. I hate this
and
movie already.
yeah.
But Carrie, every Transformers movie has gotten more risque with the ladies.
That's not true.
Jennifer, first girl.
Megan Fox?
Megan Fox.
Jennifer's Body?
Jennifer's Body, that's what I was thinking of.
There
She
you
was
go.
a teenager in the first film.
She wasn't.
Yeah, in the first film, like, Shia LaBeouf and her were both in high school.
No, I don't believe that.
Yes.
Wait, you're talking about in the movie, or
In
you're
the
talking
mo-
about
in
real?
the movie, they're-
Okay, gotcha. Go on.
But then
They're
in,
actors, George.
they're actors, George. And in this one, the girl, even though she was like 18 when she filmed it, she played, you know, an underage girl. And in this movie, they actually have like a 15-year-old girl.
Awesome.
And she's gonna be the sex object in this movie because it's Michael Bay, and I know he will fucking do that because he's a disgusting human being, and he's making another $1 billion
the thing that
film.
sucks is that, like,
And it's gonna be a nonsense. It's gonna end with Mark Wahlberg having to run across the battlefield carrying some object that's
Done.
gonna save
Done.
everything.
it's been done.
In all 4 movies, it's gonna happen again.
The Unicron will literally be falling apart in half, and he will be jumping across while it's falling, and he will make the first jump, but then he'll like climb his way up, and then
the
I
little
don't
girl
know.
will help him up. Or
Yeah,
something.
and then Unicron gets shot down by the fucking dumb pilots who are still in this movie, and our main characters were so fucking raisined, and they shoot him now. He's like, "Boo!" And then it's all good. And then Optimus Prime's good again. He's like, people, the humans, we never know. Blah, 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 blah.
This movie is gonna make $1 billion. Like they
That's the thing.
always do.
If I genuinely feel, I genuinely feel, if China wasn't a market, I feel the Transformers movies would finally, people would have been tired of them here. I genuinely feel
No, like
that.
I have like my more dude broy friends that I talk to
Damn
about
it,
movies.
my faith in humanity.
And they love these films. They're like I had an argument once with someone who's like, Ryan, how could you not like the Transformers movies? They only make $1 billion. How could you not like them? It's like, no!
And again, I know we're sounding like every fucking person who like likes movies and has a voice on the internet about movies, but
like,
god damn it.
Let's talk about a movie that is going to be amazing no matter what.
I feel like
The Bad Batch.
It's the same director as A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Right.
It's the girl with the smiley face.
It's this girl. She doesn't have an arm. She lives in this cannibal like desert area with all this fucked up shit happening.
Isn't it like post-apocalyptic Vegas or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just I love this director. It has Jason Momoa. The main.
That's another thing. Oh yeah. Well, you keep going. After
And
this,
also, you know who else is in this movie for some reason?
Keanu Reeves.
Jim Carrey is in this movie. Yeah.
What?
Exactly. I was reading like
He's all like, "Let me tell you about vaccination. Don't do it. Don't do it."
No, Anna Lillian Mapur, like she wrote this story about how she visited Jim Carrey's like a party and
Don't say vaccinations.
and she was like, "Hey, could you please be in my movie?" And she showed up like dressed as like a homeless man to like get him. And like she pitched him this movie. It's like, you got the really small part and no one will see your face. And he's like, "I'm in."
That's amazing.
So apparently there's this homeless man who like wears a trash bag, and that's gonna be Jim Carrey,
Oh.
and it's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm so excited. Oh my god! Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about this thing. I'm excited for this thing.
I've been looking forward to this film for like.
This is a
year.
neon joint, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What were we gonna say about Jason Momoa, George?
Oh yeah. So people are very, very horny for Jason Momoa. And could you explain what it is about Jason Momoa that people like about him so much?
There's a picture on the internet of him with 2 bodyguards, and he destroys them like physically. Like they're his 2 professional bodyguards, and he's like so bigger than them. And like the caption is something like, "When you're so buff that your 2 bodyguards look like mini bosses, people have to fight before they get to you." That is why I love him.
That's why.
That one tweet.
Because look at Jason Momoa, he just looks like he looks like Aquaman. I don't know. He looks like Aquaman.
He does not look like Aquaman.
He looks like the Aquaman from the Aquaman video game on Xbox and GameCube.
No, that's
I just particularly enjoy burly lumberjack men.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
yeah,
he
that's okay.
screams burly lumberjack.
Yeah, that's
man.
what I'm picturing. Yes, that's what I get from him. Okay. Anyway,
I enjoy that type of person, guy.
does Aquaman have his own movie, or is he just gonna be in Justice League?
Yeah, James Wan's directing it. Comes out next year in December.
James Wan, come home.
It's gonna be like that's the DC movie I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
Because Jason Momoa Aquaman sounds great, and James Wan directing that, it'll be crazy and weird, and I love it.
I hope so.
Anyways, what's
What
his
the
next
fuck
movie?
is the Beguiled?
The Beguiled.
Oh shit! Yes. Oh fuck! Yes. Yes. This is the one.
This is it's a remake of a Clint Eastwood movie.
The hype for this is too much, though. I will say the hype
but
is a lot.
It's basically this World War II period drama where it's this girls' school head, and the head of the school is Nicole Kidman, and Kirsten Dunst is in it, and Elle Fanning is in it, and then there's a few other younger girls, and they
Directed by Sofia Coppola,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and,
this movie.
And there's this injured soldier, and it's Colin Farrell.
Okay,
and they bring him into the house, and he seduces Kirsten Dunst, but then he also seduces Elle Fanning, and then they all turn on him. And if you watch the trailer, it kind of tells you every single thing that happens in the movie, but I'm still excited.
And the
It's
hype
gonna
for
be
this
great.
is really high, going off of Kane's. Sofia Coppola won an award. I wasn't sure
I
for
think
what.
so. I don't remember.
She had, like,
It's
a big standing
best director.
ovation,
Best
too.
director.
Yeah, best director on
believe.
Kane's. It's yeah, it's interesting that this seems to be Sofia Coppola's big. What was?
She did Marie Antoinette. She
No one
did,
liked that movie, though.
Lost in Translation.
Oh, that's
She
the one.
did
That's the one I was
Virgin
looking for.
Suicides.
Right.
She had
And
a
the
very
Bling
Murray
Ring.
Christmas.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, very excited. I always forget the name for this movie, and I was like, "Where is this thing?"
I'm really excited, and I like Nicole Kidman a lot, so I think she's
Folks, I'm genuinely excited for that movie. Folks, it's time. Banana, you know what I'm saying? Babadoo, baby!
cool.
Despicable Me 3.
Please kill me right now.
Here's the thing.
I like the first movie, and then I hate the Minions.
I dislike the first movie. I love the second one.
Really?
I think
haven't
Despicable
seen the
Me,
second
but I
one.
think Despicable Me is fine.
I haven't seen the second one.
I like the first one. I don't remember how I feel about the second one.
I really enjoyed the second one a lot. Minions, however,
Fuck Minions.
can go fuck right off,
So
baby.
I feel like my-
I am going to take the Minions, and I'm going to fuck the Minions. The Minions, I
You're
will
not the
fuck
first one to
Minions.
say that, George.
No!
The Minions.
Like, I feel like my hatred of Minions has now ruined the entire franchise because they're just. I don't think I would ever go back.
It's
and watch
weird.
the first one.
That's why I never wanted to Saw 2, because like I knew like, oh, those kids love
Yeah,
those
and they're
fucking
way more in
Minions.
it. It's weird seeing one again because, well, I think one, you can see that it doesn't have as much budget as the other ones. Like, the animation isn't as detailed, and the Minions look a little bit more grosser than they do. They like rounded them more in the second one, and they're less. They just look like weird Cheeto people. In the second one, I think they made them a little bit more marketable. I don't think they're as intrusive in 2. My Minions hate didn't generate until the film Minions was being marketed.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
everyone decided to wave their Minion flag loud and proud.
All the Facebook moms posting,
About
don't
Minions.
even talk to me before
Grumpy
I had my coffee.
Monday, you know what I'm saying? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Hey, Minions. I want to watch Despicable Me 3. I hope it's good. I think we should all watch Despicable Me 3 together.
But yeah, we'll be a family.
I'm good.
Ryan.
Like, look, I like Steve Carell.
I like Steve Carell as well.
I like the bit
We
with.
get double Steve Carell in this movie.
Yeah, that seems so like, it's the third movie. What if you had a twin he didn't know about, and his twin's a bad guy? And so he's like, oh, I'm gonna be able to make
Drew.
The Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause.
Look. Don't talk shit on Santa Claus 3 and the Escape Clause.
Despicable Me 3, it's gonna make a fuck ton of money.
I
Yeah.
hope not. When will people get that it's
I wonder
terrible?
if Pharrell is doing the music for this one, because he did 1 and 2, but then he blew up in popularity. That song blew up in popularity,
Yeah, it did.
and Pharrell became more popular, other than like a popularity amongst the music nerds. So I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't believe that this movie's coming out because this is an effervescent thing. This is not real. This is vapor.
Coming to you this month. We're finally talking about it.
The film made in 2014,
Amityville: The Awakening.
Yay.
starring
Bella Thorne.
Bella Thorne, Disney Channel's own.
Why are they making a Amityville? Like, Amityville is like the Aliens of horror movies. Like, it's the most like, it's a house, it's haunted. I don't fucking know what you want from me. Like, it's such an easy, like, why?
Yeah, but this is a modern age, and we need to get in with the kids. The kids want this.
Everyone loves Bella Thorne.
Yeah. In 2014.
Why does Bella Thorne's name come up so much? I feel like Bella Thorne shouldn't.
She's scandalous on her Snapchat.
Is that why?
Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
And she was just
She
dating
doesn't
Scott Disick?
She doesn't
Oh,
follow
that
the
guy.
rules.
That
of
dickhead.
Kardashian. Yeah, exactly.
That piece of shit. Okay. I always confuse her and Blake Lively a lot.
Bella Thorne would not stand a chance against that shark.
We probably shouldn't watch the Amityville thing, but it's been a recurring bit in this podcast, so I feel like we have to.
It's fine.
Because it's going to be nothing. It's going to be
It's
like
gonna be dumb.
Ouija 1 levels of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Yeah. No, I definitely do not. Ouija sucks. Man, you remember how there was a sequel to Ouija and it wasn't that bad? At least they tried. Remember that?
Yeah,
That was a
I
weird
still
movie.
hated it.
I mean, it wasn't good, but they tried.
Fine.
They
It
tried.
was better than the first one.
They definitely put effort into that movie. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's it? Huh?
That's it.
That's everything.
That's it.
That's
I
the
had.
month of
Wonder
June.
Woman.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, when the fuck is Death Note, Ryan?
August.
Okay. Because we are not a news podcast, but what's his? Wow, I forgot his name, and I really like
Adam-
it.
Willem Dafoe?
Adam Wingard is directing the King Kong versus Godzilla
I saw
movie.
that, yeah.
That's
So-
gonna be cool. I think he's a good fit for that.
I think so as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Like between Krampus and Trick or Treat guy doing
Michael Dougherty.
doing Godzilla, Kingdom Monsters, and him doing that. I feel like that's gonna be good. They're both gonna have very like cool tones because of the director.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
touchdown.
I think I only brought up the Death Note thing because that was on my mind, and I kind of don't know if I like Adam Wingard after Blair Witch, so I think that's where I'm at. But I don't know.
I still like that movie.
Man, I don't understand it. Anyways, that's a podcast. That's a show. Thank you for listening.
End it.
Yeah, finally. Pirates of the Caribbean, that's out there. You can go watch it.
Yay!
4 movies are real. I'm just George. I was to say I was George, but I am still George.
I will continue to be Ryan.
I'm not Carrie anymore.
Have a good one.